Morning rain hammered against the towering glass windows of Adewale Holdings, each droplet racing down the surface like tiny silver tears. Inside the 22nd floor, the corporate atmosphere was pristine and controlled. Polished marble floors reflected the soft glow of recessed lighting, while men and women in crisp native kaftans and tailored suits moved with purpose through the corridors. Aisha Bello stood in the elevator, watching the floor numbers climb steadily upward. Her reflection stared back at her from the polished steel doors, and what she saw made her heart sink. Her carefully chosen interview outfit, a cream chiffon blouse and navy pencil skirt, clung to her body like a second skin. Her long black braids, which she had styled so carefully that morning, now hung in wet strands around her face. Water still dripped from her blazer onto the elevator floor. The storm had caught her completely off guard. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency had promised a dry, sunny day, perfect for her most important job interview yet. But as she stepped out of the CMS BRT terminal, the sky had opened up with a fury that seemed almost personal. By the time she found shelter under the building's awning, she was soaked to the bone. Aisha closed her eyes and took a deep breath. This interview meant everything to her. After months of searching, after countless rejections and polite but devastating emails, Adewale Holdings had finally called her back. The position was exactly what she had dreamed of, a chance to use her marketing degree in a company that valued innovation and creativity. The elevator chimed softly as it reached the 22nd floor. The door slid open to reveal a reception area that looked like something from an upscale lifestyle magazine. Cream leather chairs sat neatly arranged around a glass coffee table. Fresh hibiscus flowers filled tall vases, their fragrance mixing with the rich aroma of freshly brewed Nigerian coffee and the faint scent of expensive cologne. Behind the reception desk sat a woman with perfectly styled hair and a smile that was both welcoming and slightly concerned. Her eyes took in Aisha's disheveled appearance with professional discretion. "You must be Aisha Bello," the receptionist said warmly. "I'm Chidima. We spoke on the phone yesterday." "Yes, that's me," Aisha replied, trying to keep her voice steady. She could feel water still dripping from her braids onto her collar. "I'm so sorry about my appearance." The storm outside was completely unexpected. Chidima's smile softened into something more genuine. "Don't worry about it at all. Lagos weather has a mind of its own. Let me get you a towel and maybe some coffee to warm you up." As Chidima disappeared into a side room, Aisha noticed the other candidates in the waiting area. Several sat in those leather chairs, all of them perfectly put together. Their suits were dry, their shoes polished, their hair immaculate. They glanced at her with expressions ranging from polite curiosity to faint superiority. Aisha's cheeks burned. She had researched every aspect of the company, rehearsed her answers until they were flawless, chosen her outfit with care, and now all that preparation felt ruined by something beyond her control. Chidima returned with a fluffy white towel and a steaming cup of coffee. "Here you go. The interview won't start for another 15 minutes, so you have time to collect yourself." "Thank you so much," Aisha said, accepting them gratefully. The warmth of the coffee spread through her fingers, chasing away some of the chill lodged in her bones. She found a chair slightly apart from the other candidates and tried to fix herself up as best she could. The towel helped with her hair, but her clothes were still damp. All she could hope was that her skills would speak louder than her appearance. "Miss Aisha Bello." The voice belonged to a tall man in an impeccably tailored navy blue suit. His neatly trimmed beard framed serious eyes that seemed to notice everything at once. Despite his formality, there was something approachable in his expression. "Yes, that's me," Aisha said, standing quickly and nearly spilling her coffee. "I'm Connor Adewale," he said, extending his hand. "Thank you for coming in today." Aisha's eyes widened. She had expected to meet a human resources manager, not the company's president himself. Connor Adewale was known in Nigeria's business circles as a brilliant yet demanding leader who had grown his father's small trading business into a national conglomerate. "Sir Connor," she managed, shaking his hand, "I'm honored to meet you. I have to apologize for my appearance, the rain was much worse than I anticipated." Connor's expression stayed neutral, but there was a flicker in his eyes. "Please, come with me to my office." They walked through a hallway lined with plaques, awards, and framed photos of Adewale Holdings' history. Aisha tried to ignore the curious glances of employees, no doubt wondering why their president was personally interviewing someone who looked like she had been caught in a monsoon. Connor's office was impressive but warm. Floor-to-ceiling windows looked out over Lagos Island, though the view was currently blurred by pounding rain. Modern furniture blended with personal touches, framed family portraits, African artwork, and a shelf lined with old Nigerian novels. "Please, have a seat," Connor said, gesturing to a chair. "Can I get you anything else?" "More coffee." "I'm fine, thank you," Aisha replied, sitting carefully to avoid dampening the seat. Connor opened a folder containing her resume and application. For a moment, he read in silence. "Your qualifications are impressive," he said finally. "Your academic record is excellent, and your work experience, though still early in your career, shows promise. But I have to ask, what happened this morning?" Aisha explained the unexpected storm, the misleading weather forecast, and how she had still made her way despite the rain. She ended firmly, "This isn't the first impression I wanted to make, Sir Connor. But giving up was never an option. I've worked too hard to let something like the weather stop me." Connor nodded slowly. "And how did you feel when you realized what had happened?" "Honestly, I was devastated. This opportunity means everything to me. But even standing there in your lobby, dripping wet, I knew I had to see it through." Connor leaned back, a faint smile breaking his serious demeanor. "Do you know why I'm conducting this interview myself?" Aisha shook her head. "Because this role demands someone who can handle the unexpected. Our marketing team doesn't just operate under perfect conditions. We face last-minute client changes, budget cuts, and technical glitches minutes before major presentations." He glanced at the rain outside. 6 months ago, I had the most important client pitch of the year. That morning, my driver cancelled, every taxi app failed, and I ended up on an Okada in a downpour. By the time I arrived, my suit was soaked, my laptop ruined. I delivered the pitch from memory in a borrowed Agbada that didn't fit. We still got the contract, not because everything went perfectly, but because the client saw we wouldn't give up. Connor returned to his desk. "Your resume shows skill. Your grades show intelligence. But walking into my office today, soaked and embarrassed yet still determined, that shows character." Aisha felt tears prick her eyes. "The position is yours if you want it," Connor said simply. "Welcome to Adewale Holdings, Aisha. I have a feeling you're going to do great things here." Outside, the rain eased, and sunlight began to break through the Lagos clouds.